try it like that. That's fine. That work? Okay. So, listen, everybody. Welcome back. We're at another episode of Kids Say the Smartest Things. This is episode 3. We're in a new setting. We haven't quite got everything, the green screen and the lighting. So there's some shadow issues back here, but that's okay. I've got Marley with us again today. Marley, thank you for being here as always. This is not possible without her. But, I had a question for you. How do you deal with conflict resolution? And you're going to be like, what do you mean?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that.
What do you mean? So how about this? Let's say you're at school. Let's say you're at the neighbor's house, because I know the 8 of y'all get over there. And I'm just, the whole group of kids is over there. But let's say you're next door and you want to do something and nobody else does. Or vice versa. They all don't want to do what you want to do, or you don't want to do what they want to do, and there's a difference of conflict.
Okay.
How do you deal with that?
We usually find something we all want to do.
Okay.
Or we do what one person does and then do what the other person does, or we'll think of something to do as time goes on.
Okay. So either everybody takes their turn,
yeah.
or you all decide, hey, this isn't going to work. But let's go a little bit further. What about like at school? Have you ever had differences and maybe you and that person just didn't get along? How do you go to school the next day, or how do you go to school every day? And if maybe, and I don't know, but maybe you've had that person that maybe you just didn't get along with. How was that kind of your day-to-day, if that was something that was there?
I guess we just work it out as time goes on, like I said last time or whatever.
Okay, like the neighbors. But how do you work it out? What do you mean? Because, you've had some differences with people at school. So what was I don't need names and don't tell me what the scenario was, but what was it that maybe got you through it, or, how did you move forward from that?
I guess I'm not really sure.
Okay. So we talk about it a lot. And, how about this? Let's go in the house, because, hey, what better way to do this than bring me and Mom into this? What about disagreements with me and Mom? Now, in this house, I don't tell you that I'm the all-knowing, final answer. We have some different ways of going back and forth in this house. So there's still times where we disagree. So how do you deal with those?
Sometimes we just have to adapt, or adapt if there's something that one of us is doing. We kind of have to figure out a way to where we won't have a difference, I guess. Okay,
where we won't have a difference. The reason I ask you these questions today about conflict resolution is we see this a lot, and in a work center, in a home, people just don't get along. That's what they hire me to do, is come to their organizations, because people don't get along. So we have these conversations and we try to identify what it is. Here's the thing. If you like Star Trek and I like Star Wars, and we have a disagreement, that's okay, right? We just two different things. But if, let's say, this is the task, we need to do this to get it done, but you think it's got to be done one way and I think it's got to be done in one way, how do we get to that task?
We can work together using our own ways.
So I get to do a little bit of mine and you get to do a little bit of yours?
Yeah.
But what if we have to do it together? And I just think you have the stupidest idea and I don't want to do it your way, and you think because there's a lot of times you think I got some stupid ideas too as a parent. Don't get me wrong. So how do we get to that task?
I guess we just find a way where we can both do it easily.
Okay.
To where it's done basically the same way.
That's the trick. That's where this gets to be complicated, because in the home is one thing, but when we go into a work center or in school, let's just say you're in school with one of your friends, you want it one way and your friend wants it another way. That's where that communication really comes into it. We have to talk about what it is. But here's the thing. You and I might have complete differences. If you're arguing about Star Wars and I'm arguing about Star Trek or whatever, that's silly, because we're not moving towards that resolution of our differences of a task. But if we're still disagreeing about the task, as long as we're communicating through that, sometimes we end up finding a better way to do it. Maybe a little bit of yours and a little bit of mine, like you said, and then we can put it together to make that task. In conflict resolution, they have all these different ways that you can accommodate, or you can, give in to the other side, or you can just say, I'm authority and you're going to do it my way. It just depends on what's best for the dynamics of the group and what we're working towards. Sometimes we have to just say, do it my way. Parents do that all the time, don't we? Do it my way, right? But sometimes we say, well, how would you want to do it? What do you think you want to do? And maybe you've got a better idea. Maybe it's not the way I want it done, but maybe you've got the way to do it that works for you that still gets it done. That's when we're really looking to move forward with it. So I appreciate Marley being here as we talk about these every week. This was a short and sweet and kind of right to the point. I want to see what that conflict looked like in her eyes, because I know sometimes when the kids get together, I know at school sometimes, teachers, other peers, projects, what that looks like. I always like to see how we're putting those together to see what we're doing to move forward. Conflict resolution is a big one. And again, from Marley's perspective and how she sees it, is the exact same way we do it with us. So listen, you guys, I appreciate y'all being here. Again, welcome back to Kids Say the Smartest Things. This is episode 3. We'll catch you guys on the flip flop. Bye.